After Johnson's premature shot was fired, Vance, knowing they had been warned, took quick action. Running to the side of the cabin, he set fire to it, assuring himself there would be no escapes. The details of the bloody massacre that followed are varied and filled with uncertainty. We do know for a fact the McCoy family, panicked by the sudden attack, ran from the cabin. With his granddaughter in his arms, Rand'l was the last to leave, fleeing to the safety of the mountainside. On the morning of January 2nd, 1888, Rand'l, wondering if he and his grandchild were the only two to survive, came down to the cabin to find his daughter Alifair shot to death. All the blood was drained from her body. Lying in the blood of his daughter was Rand'l's wife, Sarah, who was brutally beaten and near death, with her hair frozen to the ground. The body of Calvin McCoy was found near the corn crib, where, in attempting to escape the blazing cabin, he was shot through the head. The other members of his family sat weeping and crying for help. Roseanne McCoy was not in the cabin as Johnsy had thought. She had spent the night at a relative's house. Jim McCoy, eldest son of Rand'l, lived a few short miles from his father's house. Upon learning of the disaster, he accompanied the entire family, including Roseanne, to Pikeville, Kentucky, while Rand'l's neighbors buried Alifair and Calvin next to their three brothers. This January 2nd, 1888 would be a day Pikeville, Kentucky would long remember. The entire state of Kentucky was outraged at the brutal killings of the McCoy family at the hands of the West Virginians. Frank Phillips continued his raids on the Hatfields and friends of the Hatfields. Rand'l stayed by the bedside of his nearly dead wife. For weeks it was doubtful that Sarah would recover. Rand'l McCoy was a bitter man. Over and over he told his story to anyone who would listen. Once sympathetic friends were now becoming irritated and tired of hearing about that New Year's night. Some said Rand'l was losing his mind. Poor old Rand'l walked the streets of Pikeville with his memories of that New Year's night. For it hurts, Lord, to lose one child, but to lose six, Lord, it just don't seem right. Friends and neighbors would shy from Rand'l. His hate for Hatfields, he always told. Old and bitter, he sought vengeance. It would have been better if it died that night in the cold. Sarah called Rand'l to her bedside. She said, I know I've kept you to a vow to trust in Jesus and the law of the county. But Rand'l, go and do what you gotta do now. Rand'l, go and do what you gotta do now.